let's make lemonade. Okay. Let's go to work.
That's the signal. Go. Six. It's beautiful. Mother Nature just pissed her pants, dude.
Wake up and hit the ground running. It's The Rush, presented by Willis Auto, with Travis Justice and Ross Peterson bringing you raw, unfiltered, and unapologetic talk about sports, life, and everything else that matters. No filtered, no fluff, just The Rush.
Hey there, Rush listeners. Are you ready to drive something extraordinary at Willis Automotive in Des Moines? They treat you like family with guest-level service, flexible financing, and that perfect ride waiting for you. Come to 2121 Northwest 100th Street. Check out their new and pre-owned lineup and experience the Willis difference today. If you're listening on the audio stream at therushladio.com or on the TuneIn or Rush Radio app, thank you so much. Watch it on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. Good to have you along this morning. And, of course, follow us on social media. Ross, before we dive into everything we got to talk about today, we talk about it a lot. We bring it up, but it brought a smile to my face this morning because the chat was already active this morning. And people that act like they know each other. And it reminds me of the community. Everybody's like, good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Calling everybody out by name. It's just like, God, we're all coming together every morning for like our coffee and biscuits and stuff like that.
I'm with you. It's very cool. It's neat to see that chat family kind of grow, and it does feel like that. And then, like, bus every day, he's got to take off and get on the bus. And so here in sometimes 5 minutes, sometimes 35, sometimes an hour, he'll be like, all right, guys, headed to the app. And you'll see, it's like he's leaving the bar. And you'll see guys like, see you later, bus. Bye, bus. See you tomorrow,
see you,
bus.
Norm. See you, Norm.
Right,
see you, Norm.
Yeah, it's very cool. Very, very cool.
Now, I wonder if bus plays the app to the kids on the bus. Say, hey, kids, we need to indoctrinate you now.
I would imagine there's some days he's probably like, I better not.
Probably.
I better not.
Man, probably.
Jason is down there in the bayou, and so he's unaware of the conversation today. Obviously, is like, whoa, damn, it's windy. Because damn, it's windy out there.
Dude.
Damn, it's windy. Crazy. When I got up this morning, I came into my office here, you could hear the wind whipping outside of the windows. I'm like, damn, it is violent out there right now.
I actually got scared last night. Anjanette and I were sitting in the kitchen, and of course, my garage is more like a shed, right? None of my cars go in my garage because I'm somewhat of a hoarder at this point because I've got a lot of stuff in there. And all of a sudden, we heard a crash. And I'm like, oh, a tree just fell on the Defender, right? I started panicking. It wasn't that. I went outside. It's garbage day, and the garbage can had blown over into the street, and it made a loud thud. And I was like, oh, thank God. Thank God nothing fell on the car. It was just the trash can. And none of the trash came out. That was nice. The lid stayed on it, so that made me happy.
Can I make you feel a little bit better about your garage also?
Sure.
You have an older home with a one-car garage,
yes.
An attached one-car garage. I don't know. Very rarely am I in a house that has a one-car garage where there's a car in it.
Really?
Very rarely. Yep. Garages are like a catch-all for everybody. I mean, when you go to sell your house and you clean out the house, I would say unless you have a place to take everything, most stuff ends up in the garage. So a lot of times with buyers, you have to kind of set that expectation. Like before you open the garage, you have to go, okay, notice how the house is really clean and it looks like no kids live here? Brace yourself.
Don't go in the garage.
Brace yourself, because it might be full of stuff. So don't beat yourself up for it, because
I do live in an older neighborhood. I mean, a two-car garage in our neighborhood is a luxury. Now, my neighbor has a detached three-car garage. I'm like, oh, that's worth more than the house, just because nobody in the neighborhood has a three-car garage. You have a two-car, you're special. We're just the common folk with the one-car garage.
I have a one-car garage, very common in my neighborhood. Chuck, my next-door neighbor, he has a two-car garage that, I'm not kidding you, is bigger than the one-bedroom house. I'm not kidding you. He spends more time in the garage than he does in the house. So,
Chuck, what are you doing in the garage? More room. More room.
Right, exactly.
Just feel better here.
Just breathing out here.
I see you're wearing the Hawkeye sweatshirt today, and for good reason. The Hawks passed the test They faced Ole Miss last night, if you stayed up for it. They beat Ole Miss 74-69. How about this, Ross? It's the first SEC team Iowa has beaten since 2010. You have to go back to 2010 when they beat Alabama in like a preseason tournament to the last time they beat an SEC team. So and Ole Miss put up a fight. And Ole Miss was a Sweet 16 team from a year ago. But you watch that game, and we'll get into it. But this is what we wanted to see. And everybody said, be patient, be waiting for it. I get it. I just wanted them to play a named team. I'm satisfied now. I watched the way they were calm, cool, collected, even when it was close.
Yeah.
And I think the biggest lead Iowa had in the second half was like 8 points. They were down 1 with 7:22 to go, went on a 10-3 run, and never looked back after that. The closest it got after that was 4 points, I believe.
Yeah, Travis, when we watched Iowa State the other day, you came on and you said that was big boy basketball. And we'll get into Iowa State, too, because yesterday that wasn't necessarily big boy basketball with Iowa State and Creighton. Iowa State made Creighton not look like a Big Ten, like a big boy basketball team. Last night with I don't know why I don't know what the word is for it, Travis. I am constantly impressed by Bennett Sturts. I think that's the way to say it. There's a part of me that wonders, how the hell was that kid not a Division I basketball recruit coming out of high school? He is fantastic. I get he's a senior, and he's had 4 years to do this, and he's not the same basketball player now that he was that senior year in high school when he was getting recruited to go to where did
Northwest Missouri State.
Missouri State. He was a Bearcat. He's just been 40 minutes last night, field general, never once seems like a moment is, and again, we're early in the season, but man, watching him last year at Drake was the same way. Watching him last year in the NCAA tournament against Texas Tech in the round of 32, a moment's not too big for him. It doesn't seem like there's pressure. He's never playing too fast. We've seen that a lot with some of the guards that Iowa had in these last 5 years or so, where you had guys that were crazy athletic, but man, they almost seemed like they couldn't find their own rhythm to make it all work right. They were tornadoes. And Bennett Sturts is never a tornado. He's always calm in the storm. And that was fun last night to see to see the performance that he is able to lead that team through. A big fan. And again, I want to be careful. It's not like I'm more impressed with him every time, I think is the way to say it. And it's not like my expectations are low or I'm surprised that he's playing that way. There's just a reminder every time he's on the court of like, man, this dude's good. He's really good.
Cooper Koch and Bennett Sturts combined for the majority of Iowa's points. Sturts had 29. Koch had 14. But you bring up Bennett Sturts. I got a text late last night from Justin Miller, who will be joining us at 7:50 to correct every mistake that we make. And we appreciate that. He's like, boy, I really miss Bennett Sturts performing for Drake. And I get it, right? I mean, you appreciate him every time he hits the floor. And you bring up the recruiting thing. It shows you kind of what Kirk Ferentz has on the football side when you say, hey, they take 2 stars and they make them 4 stars. No, what they were able to do is to identify competitiveness, and they're also able to say, hey, he hasn't grown into his body yet. He has not fully matured, and there's a lot more growth there. I think Ben McCollum looked at Bennett Sturts and said, oh, I see something in this guy. First of all, he's uber competitive. Number 2, he hasn't grown into his body yet. I'm seeing something that other coaches aren't willing to take a chance on, right? And I think when you get to that elite level, you're like, do I take a chance on this guy? We don't know if he's going to come into his body. We don't know what he's going to develop, skill-wise or anything like that. And Ben McCollum said, I'm going to take this kid, develops him, helps him get to, Northwest Missouri State where they win a national championship, then on to Drake to see what he can do at the Division II level. Now at the Big Ten level, the dude is off to a start to where he's going to be a first-team All-Big Tenner if he stays on this path. I don't see how he would not be a first-team All-Conference and maybe start getting into that All-American conversation.
Yeah, we'll let the season play out a little bit before we know some of that. But he's plays like that. Certainly does play like that guy. And if Iowa is able to compete all season long at the Big Ten level, and he's doing 40 minutes a game, or even the non-con when he was taking a break and getting 38 minutes a game or whatever it was, I think you're right. He'll be in that conversation, and this is going to be a neat to see. And I don't know if last night, I don't know why I continually need to be shown that this Iowa basketball roster is good enough to play with big teams, and Bennett Sturts is good enough to do that. But man, it helps to watch those games and go, yeah, this is fun Iowa basketball.
Let me tell you why, and I think it's normal, right? In the fact that let me try to pick your brain apart, and there's a lot of layers in there. If I start going through Ross's brain, I'm like layer,
stinky onion.
I think it's because we've been told for so many years of how good an Iowa basketball team was going to be, and you still have a little PTSD over thinking, boy, this team's going to be good, only to fall below expectations under Fran McCaffrey. And you're still like, okay, I want to believe, I want to get onto this. I need more proof. Last night was enough proof for me. Now, Iowa's not going to go unbeaten this year. They're going to upset some people, but they're going to probably lose a game or two where you go, where did that happen? But that's college basketball. But my expectation is now this team should be an NCAA tournament team. I have no problem saying this team needs – if they don't get there, it would be a disappointment of a season just by what they've done so far, the way they played last night. And what I liked about last night, Ross, they came into this game, as we mentioned yesterday, leading the nation in field goal percentage, shooting just over 57%. They had their worst shooting night of the season and shot 45%, 47%. Still not bad, but they go 2 of 12 shooting three-pointers in the first half. They turn around and hit 6 of 12 or 2 of 11, or 2 of 12 in the first half, 6 of 12, 50% from behind the arc in the second half. And they didn't let their first half shooting woes plague them in the second half. They came out just very businesslike. So you have your worst shooting performance of the year, and you still find a way to win against a much more athletic team than you've probably played to this point so far.
We've talked about this schedule a lot, but again, you get this. You got a taste last night with Ole Miss. You're going to get a big taste next week with Michigan State, Maryland, Iowa State in these next few weeks. I'm with you, Travis. I think that the expectation for this team, like we've talked about all year, well, we haven't since Ben McCollum got hired. We said, "Hey, is it fair that the expectation this first year is to make the NCAA tournament? Is that fair?"
Yes, because
now you look at it and go, absolutely.
When you have a transfer portal class that was ranked 8th in the country, and you can take that with a grain of salt, but when you have a brand new roster and it is loaded with supposed talent, there's no reason to say you can't turn it around, at least get to the NCAA tournament in your number one. I think that's a fully fair expectation. And the truth is, I think if you were to talk to Ben McCollum, and we have talked to Ben McCollum, that's the expectation for this team. You don't come in to say, hey, we're rebuilding here. Yeah, you're rebuilding for the long haul, but you can have a short-term fix really, really quick. And I don't think it's unfair to say we expect this Iowa team to be in the NCAA tournament.
No, and last night proves that. And again, just the way they played too. It's not just winning the game. It's energy on defense, but it's a calm on offense. It's great ball movement. It's really sound play. Dude, did you see the stat they put up? And I know we've kind of beat this up with McCollum. We all should know this stuff. Did you see them put up McCollum's career record?
What is it? He's like at an 81 or 82% win rate. Now that included Northwest Missouri State, but that's still pretty impressive.
Still, as a head coach, with other teams trying to beat you, and another coach on the other bench trying to beat you, 431 and 95.
Guy hasn't even lost 100 games yet.
He has an 82% win percentage. 81.9 is his win percentage. Google me. I win. Oh, impressive! Great game for the Hawks last night. Good job getting started on that.
Now, I don't think it's going to be easy tonight. They played 8:30 again tonight. They played Grand Canyon, and you're going to go, well, come on, it's Grand Canyon. Google Grand Canyon. They got a strong fan following. They're not playing at home, but they've their home court advantage is tremendous. This team has pulled off upsets before, and I don't think it's going to be a walk in the park for Iowa tonight. I hope I'm wrong. I hope it's a walk in the park, but I wouldn't look past Grand Canyon. They beat Utah last night, and I just think it's going to be a better game than most people think. That starts at 8:30 tonight, and so we'll be able to sit down and watch that. You're gonna have to take a nap. Okay, I'm gonna have to take a nap.
I'm gonna have to get a nap in to watch the dude. That game started so slow last night.
Did it was like,
oh my god?
Yeah, if you wanted something to put you to sleep, you're like
8 minutes into that game, the score was like 5-2 or something. I mean, it was shocking, especially when you see how the game ended. Those first 7 minutes or so were like, I need toothpicks to keep my eyes open. Don't Google this.
Okay.
Mascot for Grand Canyon is?
Oh, mascot for Grand Canyon. They're a religious school. I'm going to say the Crusaders.
That's a good one. That's not bad. I don't know what this is, and I hope it's. I'm hoping. Oh, it is short for something else. Okay. Because when you go to ESPN and you look at it, they're the Grand Canyon Lopes. Lopes, Lopes.
So the antelopes?
It's short for the antelopes. So not religious. I mean, I'm saying the school is not the mascot. There an antelope in the Bible?
I'm sure somewhere, maybe in a sacrificial way. I don't know. And he sacrificed the antelope.
So Grand Canyon, they beat Utah by 10 last night. Listen, I'll go with you on this, Trav. If Grand Canyon is supposed to be a tough matchup, I can't say that they're not supposed to be. I would say that as a Hawkeye fan, after beating Xavier, after beating Ole Miss, heading into games against big boys, Michigan State looming, you got to win this game. It's not like a must win, but Hawks win tonight.
Oh, I think the Hawks win. All I'm saying is don't expect like a 30-point blowout because you see Grand Canyon and you go, oh, that's going to be a walk in the park. I think this could be a much closer game than people think. I think Iowa wins. But you brought up a good point in what I liked in is that calmness. They didn't panic. I mean, they're down with 7:22 to go. Ole Miss goes up 54-53, I believe it was. And you're like, oh, this is going to be back and forth. And Iowa just reels off a 10-3 run and never look back. And there was never, and it really is Bennett Sturtz. The way he performs on the court, the way he does not panic is the way his teammates follow him. And Ben McCollum isn't a panicker either. I mean, he's animated, he's competitive, but he's not he's not a run up and down, get on your knees and that type of coach. He's very measured, and Bennett Sturtz is very measured. And when you have somebody on the floor that's playing 40 minutes, that keeps everybody else at an even keel. Not saying you don't need one of those emotional guys to be rah-rah at the time, but, I was going to have a number of close games this year. Just playing in the Big Ten, you're going to be in tight matchups, and you need that steadiness as you head into to some of those contests coming up. So, yeah, just a good start by the Hawkeyes. Impressive win. Knocking. I guess the shocker for me was that first win over an SEC team since 2010. I'm like, damn. Been a while.
That's kind of a shocking stat, but I not even the conversation I want to have, but I did have a thing. I was thinking of Fran last night as I'm watching this, because that's just a game that it wouldn't have felt the same. It didn't. Those games didn't feel the same, and the Hawkeyes lost a lot of those games. And maybe part of it was watching Creighton yesterday as well. Okay, did Fran McCaffrey, was he just not bringing in good enough guys?
Well, let's go back to what I just talked about in being measured and not too emotional. We brought it up with Paul Rhodes. We sometimes your team, not sometimes, I think every time your team takes on the personality of your coach. And
completely agree.
When go back to the Kansas State game with Paul Rhodes when he was fired right after that, it was his emotions on the field. I think affected the team because they saw that. I do believe you could have liked Fran's fire at certain times when it was measured, when it was warranted, but the truth is he did it all the time. And when you have an X page called Fran's Red Face, that means you're doing it way more than you should. And I think what happens is your team takes on the personality of your coach, and you can have a tendency to melt down at the wrong times. You know, do you feel sorry for Fran McCaffery? Do you think Fran McCaffery's paying attention to Iowa? I mean, we can't look past what Fran did. He is the all-time winningest coach in Iowa history, right? And that's through longevity more than anything.
Yeah.
But I don't miss him at all. You know, Mike Halas was just let go by the Cedar Rapids Gazette, and they put a clip out they put a clip out the other day of how Halas came to a young reporter's defense when he asked a question, and Fran said, "Well, that's just a stupid question. Move on." And Halas comes in and says, "Hey, why is that a stupid question?" Yeah. I mean, but he was so combative. And when you're like that in a post-game press conference, when you're like that on the court, I think your team takes on that what word am I looking for? That they just take on that attitude, and they melded down at the wrong time and weren't able to finish, because I think they're always wondering, oh my God, what's coach going to, is coach going to yell at me? Is he going to freak out? 515-517-2303. Let's go to Brent, who's here to talk about Iowa basketball. Brent, welcome to the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive. What's going on?
Good morning. Just early happy Thanksgiving to you guys.
Thanks man.
Happy Thanksgiving, Brent.
All this work, Thank you. Hey, I understand that. I think the coach matters. I know where you're coming from, Travis, but I also think the players matter a lot, and the style of play matters. Like Fran was a fun coach in terms of, we wanted to get up and down the court and shoot three balls, right? But he didn't really care a lot about defense. He didn't really care about rebounding. He didn't, there's some little things where we lost games in the other areas of the game because we really didn't specialize in that. I kind of relate Fran to like the old air raid coach, right? Those teams a lot of times down the South that were scoring like 60-some points, and it's a lot of teams, and then they'd run into somebody pretty good and then get shut down, right? That I think that's as much as anything. And I also think end of game. I never liked Fran set end of game. He had that weird set where you just kind of stand around. There's no motion to the offense, and I think we lost a lot of close games just down the stretch because we couldn't make a basket, right? So that's my take. Is the players matter. Bennett Sturtz is the real deal. He's a really good player. So
Brent,
that's my take.
Brent, let me ask you this, and you're right, players do matter, but when you say a coach will maybe recruit players that are similar to their personality, or it's kind of like a marriage. You look for guys that fit what you do as a coach and kind of emulate what you do on the court. So it is a marriage at that point.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. You recruit kids to your flock. Impressed. You guys have, I can't remember which assistant came on. Oh, it's been a month or two ago. You had one of the assistants come on, and he was talking about the emphasis.
Wrong show. Wrong show.
Every rebound. Sorry about that. If somebody was on, maybe wrong show, but somebody had the coach on, and he was talking about every rebound mattered. Like they were charting whether a guy would make a move to even go get the rebound or get back. To me, that's the level of detail that you can see that McCollum coaches with, right? And I don't think we're going to be as exciting of a team up and down the court, though. I think we're going to be a hard-nosed, defensive-oriented, score as much as you can, But I think there's going to be less entertainment overall from an offensive perspective, but probably a better overall product. Does that make sense?
Yeah. But you know what's entertaining? Wins. Wins are entertaining. Todd Licklider would have been entertaining if he would have won basketball games. Would have been, right?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And I love it. We're doing well because if Ross says it's fun, that means we're winning. So,
that's true.
So, the fun meter. Ross says a fun meter. That always means winning. So I love Ross for that. So.
All right, Brent.
Anyway,
I love you for seeing me, Brent. You see right through me. That's great, man.
Tony Bennett ran an ugly boring offense, but he won a national championship.
They won.
You know what that is? That's fun.
And man, and everybody bought in on it. Everybody bought in. It was like a rite of passage of, we're going to win this game with 43 points. We're going to win this game tonight. We're going to score a point a minute, and we're going to beat you guys.
Yeah. If we're going to be in the 40s, we'll be in the 40s. Hell, we'll hold team to the 30s. We don't care.
Right. And everybody embraced it. And as soon as you started losing games 45-48, then it was like, where the hell's the offense? This sucks. Yeah, that's a good. What a good way. I'm a fun meter. I think he's right about that.
Mr. Fun.
Well, not Mr. Fun. No, I'm just a fun meter. If I'm enjoying it, it means the game that they're winning. Because I'm a fan because I want my team to win. All of it. I'm the most simple form of fan.
No, you're not. You're the right type of fan. If you start concerning yourself with formations or plays that are set up, you're way too deep in the weeds. You just want to go, am I having fun watching this?
Yeah.
That's the type. I would say 95% of the fans are like you or like me. Am I having fun watching this? If I were to win a national championship and won like 55 to 48, I'm pretty damn happy.
Brett,
I don't know how they did it.
Nailed it. Go back and watch. Remember those Fran teams? They'd score in the 90s.
Yeah,
you'd score a lot of points. Was it fun?
No, not always.
Why? Because they lost. Because they would lose those games. I think that's a fair statement. Again,
what's equated to football? If Iowa wins 17-14, we're really happy.
Boy,
you lose 17-14, you're like, man, where's the offense at?
I mean, I wouldn't say we're really happy. Do you remember Saturday?
Yeah, that's true. But they came back from double digits down in the fourth quarter, right? You're like, oh, man, yeah, what a comeback.
Yeah. Do you still remember Saturday?
I do.
Game sucked.
He mentioned rebounding. I believe Iowa out-rebounded Ole Miss 30-29. 11 offensive rebounds turned into 18 second-chance points. So they were able to take those offensive rebounds and convert and turn those into the points. And another big aspect of the game is you out-rebound somebody, you get more offensive rebounds, and you turn those offensive rebounds into points.
Trav, what did you say the rebounding numbers were?
Was it 30-29?
30-29. Yeah, and they out-rebounded them by one.
By one. Yeah. What was the offensive rebounds?
Offensive rebounds were 11-6.
11-6.
Yeah.
And 18 second-chance points for the Hawks. 515-517-2303 is the number to call. We come back, we're going to talk about Iowa State. They had an impressive win yesterday, beating Creighton like a drum. It is the Rush Radio Show.
Speaking of big-time basketball.
Yes. It is the Rush Radio Show powered by Willis Automotive.
The Rush Radio is now on the free TuneIn app, allowing you to enjoy the show on Apple products and Android Auto. Download the free TuneIn app and search The Rush Radio to take Travis and Ross wherever you go.
'Tis the season to share great taste. Grab a refreshing Coca-Cola and make every moment a celebration. Locally made, nationally loved, Coca-Cola is the real deal when it comes to holiday cheer. Whether you're kicking back after the game or hosting the crew, nothing hits like that crisp, fizzy taste. Make this season yours. Grab an ice-cold Coca-Cola today.
With over 260 beers on tap, El Bait Shop isn't just another craft beer bar. It's the best. Beer lovers know. El Bait Shop, 200 Southwest 2nd, Des Moines.
There's a new spin on casual dining near Drake University. Lucky Horse Beer and Burgers. Craveable faves, flatbreads, delicious burgers, frozen cocktails, and a crazy cool vibe. Get to Lucky Horse Beer and Burgers today.
My name's Gary Prosnell, and I'm a residential home mortgage banker for Northwest Bank in Des Moines Metro Market. I've been financing people's homes for over 25 years, and I'm an expert in financing VA loans, FHA loans, IFA loans, and new construction homes. This is my cat Norm. Norm knows football, but he doesn't know mortgage, and that's where I come in. There are a lot of Tom, Dick, and Norms out there doing loans. So don't just trust anyone with your home loan. I'm your local, trusted, experienced expert.
Loans. Call Gary at 515-975-6767 or find his profile at nw.bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
After Hawkeye football games this fall, Travis and Ross are right where they belong, with you taking your calls and giving unfiltered feedback. Right after Hawkeye football games, it's the Black and Gold Rush on the rushradio.com, the TuneIn app, and on YouTube.
Hey everybody, Mason Miller, sales manager out here at Willis Infinity, and this month we invite you to join us on our Once in a Wintertime sales event. Fall into savings this month by leasing an all-new 2026 QX60 Lux for as low as $799 a month for 24 months with just $5,000 down. Also take advantage of the 2.9% rate that Infinity is offering on both 2026 QX60 and QX80, and an additional $3,000 off of the new 2026 QX80. For more information, come say hi in our showroom or visit us online at willisinfinity.com.
Hey, it's Noel from Fiscus Jewelers. This holiday season, give the gift of sparkle that lasts a lifetime. From our latest designs to timeless favorites, there's something for everyone on your list. Already have a Fiscus diamond? Bring it in and trade up with our 100% trade up program. It's the perfect way to shine a little brighter this year. And if you're dreaming up something custom, get your design started by December 1st for Christmas delivery. Let's make this season magical together. Fiscus Jewelers, your jeweler for life.
Looking for the perfect golf escape? Experience links-style golf right here in Ames at Coldwater Golf Links. With rolling fairways, large greens, and unique routing, it's golf the way it's meant to be played. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, you'll love our course's welcoming atmosphere and friendly staff. Grab your clubs, book a tee time, and make every round unforgettable. Coldwater Golf Links, where great golf leads to great memories. Visit coldwatergolf.com to book your round today.
Back to the Rush. Strong opinions, weak filters, and just enough sense to stay on the air. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
Getting engaged soon? Thinking about an anniversary gift coming up? How about a birthday gift? Jewelry always makes the perfect gift. For a local full-service jeweler, go to Fiscus Jewelry and Fiscus Diamonds in Ankeny, 1701 Southeast Delaware, Suite 250. You get custom design, engagement and bridal rings. You got platinum, 18-karat, 14-karat, made in the USA, certified center stones. Plus, if you got jewelry that needs repaired, Noel and Fiscus Diamonds can get you all fixed up. They'll give you appraisals, too, on anything you want to maybe trade in or even sell.
Locally owned and operated. You've got a guy that has spent his life here in central Iowa that dedicated himself to that diamond industry. He's an expert. He's going to do everything he can to help you out. I've done a lot of business with Noel over the years. He's and the Fiscus family. Fantastic. I love the locally owned and operated thing with most things that I do in my life. When you can find a guy that has dedicated his life to a specialty like that you take advantage of that. So big fan of Noel. Glad he's on board here with the Rush. And I'd encourage everybody, if you're looking for something for Christmas like that, it's the place to go. First of all, because you are going, like you said, if you have any problems with that, you're going to be able to talk to the owner or the owner's family.
Yes.
When you go back in and say, hey, I had an issue, and they're going to care. They're going to be like, oh, that's our name. That's our family name attached to that thing. We're going to help you out to make sure that this is right. They've been wonderful to work with over the last decade of life.
Quick reminder, I know Thanksgiving is coming up, and a lot of you have tomorrow off and maybe even Friday. Ross and I are going to be here tomorrow morning starting at 6 a.m., so if you're up basting the turkey, making the mashed potatoes, the yams, the candied yams, the stuffing, go ahead and turn us on. We'll be live starting at 6 a.m. to 8 a.m., and just want to spend your Thanksgiving morning with us. We got Todd Stepsis and his wife are going to join us at 7:30. We'll see what they're making for Thanksgiving. We're going to have McKenna Velichko join us. She's the Hawkeye recruit that's a 5-star out of California. So and I think
Bruno at 7.
Bruno at 7 o'clock. So we'll have a little Thanksgiving fun starting tomorrow at 6 a.m. So make your plans accordingly. Ross, we talked about big boy basketball and this Players Era tournament, and I don't know if it's a tournament or not. I don't know really kind of how the format is.
Sure, it counts as a tournament.
They're all making money, but it has produced some really high-level, key marquee matchups. Yeah. And I was excited for the Iowa State-Creighton game yesterday until if you're an Iowa State fan, you love it. If you're a Creighton fan, you're miserable because Iowa State made Creighton look like a JV team. I mean, they came out without Tamin Lipsey. Iowa State made Creighton look like a JV team. that defense is unbelievable, believable, and the way they trap, the way they cut off passing lanes, you're like, damn, this team is solid. This team is good, really good.
Yeah, they go through that stretch in that first half, Trav, however long that was. They held Creighton scoreless because it's a back and forth game for the first couple of minutes.
Yeah,
and then the defense just starts to smother. Creighton can't figure out the ball movement, can't get shots to fall, and Iowa State stays consistent the entire time on the offensive end. I like the way you put that, man. That game got out of hand at some point. It really did. It felt like this game was over early for Iowa State. Creighton just had no wind in them, and that's fun to see, dude. Iowa State is a really good basketball team. We're going to have this conversation, hopefully barring injury, because we saw them play really well yesterday without Tamin Lipsey. Nobody can deny they're a much better team with Tamin Lipsey out there.
Absolutely.
If this team can stay healthy, if you can avoid some big injuries, we should be having really fun conversations about this Iowa State basketball team all season long. TJ has got a fantastic thing going up there. They're reloading. They're keeping guys around. Fun to see. And yesterday, rather, in the middle of the day, that was a butt kicking, man, over a team that I'm with you. I was kind of excited about that. Thought we were going to see a pretty good basketball game. That was Iowa State playing a non-conference game. That didn't look like Iowa State playing in a big boy tournament. And hopefully tonight again, or today, they play again today against Syracuse, right?
Yeah, they play Syracuse at noon.
Boy. Okay. Well, I like that better than the 8:30. Honestly,
so do I. Give me afternoon basketball any day of the week. I'm like, okay, pop the TV on at work, and here we go. And and I think what happens too, especially yesterday, and we see this, Ross, in football sometimes. I think we see it in basketball. When a guy goes down, when he's injured, it raises that level of competitiveness. You're aware that Tamin Lipsey's not on the court, that somebody's got to step up. And Killian Torrey did it yesterday. He had 20 points, one of 4 Cyclones in double figures. Joshua Jefferson had a double-double. I got a little worried. He went out. He left limping at one point, and they had the massage gun on the sideline. He's got that massage gun going, getting that leg all massaged out. Do you have a massage gun at home?
Had one. Eli had one for wrestling. I don't know where it's at anymore. I haven't seen it for 9 months, so we'll see if it pops back up here as wrestling season gets started.
But Jefferson at 18 points, 10 rebounds. Momcilovic, a much different game than he had in game 1 against St. John's, but still had 10 points, had a huge three-pointer right before halftime. But just an amazing game for the Cyclones, who end up shooting 49% from the field, 35% from three, not great, but forced 17 turnovers against the Blue Jays, and it was that defense. And they scored 19 points off those 17 rebounds. So look at the state of basketball right now in Iowa, right? Iowa's unbeaten. Iowa State's unbeaten. Northern Iowa is unbeaten. They got a win yesterday. Drake has 2 losses, but getting better. This is going to be a fun year of college basketball in the state of Iowa. It really is. I mean, somebody put it in the chat earlier. I mean, who's the last team to lose? Will it be Northern Iowa? Of those three, who's the last team to lose?
Oh, let's see. I would not. Iowa's got some tough ones. Purdue's got, or Iowa State has Purdue coming up on the 6th.
And that's in West Lafayette, right?
That's a tough game. Is that in West Lafayette?
You're talking about the number 1 team in the country. Number 1 team in the country.
That's going to be a tough one. And so I don't think it's crazy to say that's a potential loss for this Iowa State basketball team going to the number 1 team in the country. They're really good. You might still not have a full Tamin Lipsey, because we're talking 2 weeks away from that. I think you're probably, again, with him being day to day, probably on the verge of whether or not he's at 100%. That could be a determining factor there in how close of a game that is. All right, so we got Iowa State with a potential loss there on December 6th. Really, Iowa's first potential loss should be Iowa State.
Not Michigan. Do they play Michigan State
Michigan
first?
State before, isn't it? Yeah. I'm sorry. Okay, so we've got Michigan State. You're right, on December 2nd.
which is in East Lansing.
At Michigan State. Probably going to be a loss. Let's fire up UNI. Is Northern Iowa going to be the last undefeated team? I love this. UNI has Tulsa coming up today. That's a 3:30 tip with Tulsa. They play then they play Wichita State on December 6th. If you can get past Tulsa, and Wichita State, there's a potential, because then it's Oakland, University of Illinois, Chicago, and St. Mary's. There's a potential that they're going racing towards the new year undefeated.
Now, look at Oakland. Oakland's not a bad basketball team.
All of those, Tulsa's not bad.
Yeah.
Wichita State's not bad. Yeah, you're going to have some. There's potential here to lose all of these, but there's a chance that UNI is that team.
You know what? I'd rather be talking about this than who's the first team to win. Because there are some programs out there that are talking, when are we going to win a basketball game? When are we going to beat anybody of significance?
Sorry, I thought I had sneeze coming on there. Oh, it's hung up now. That's going to be ugly.
Ooh. Hung up.
Oh, yeah, it's like a sneeze, like right here. Oh.
But Iowa State did yesterday, because I want to go back to what you said, in that when I said that Iowa State made Creighton look like a JV team, you brought it up. It became lackadaisical. I'm not going to say Creighton quit, but there was a level of energy where they felt helpless on offense. I mean, they were making bad passes. It was like they did not know how to get out of the defensive pressure that Iowa State was throwing on them, and it was like it was like beating somebody into submission. It got to the point where you're like, "We just put the dog down. Can we just put the dog down?" That's what that game
felt like, Trav. By halftime, that game felt like it was over. Creighton just didn't have that fight in them. And again, credit to Iowa State for squeezing that out of them there in that first half. Back and forth game for those first maybe 5-7 minutes, it seemed like. And then the defense locks up. They stretch it out, and it never felt like Creighton was ever fighting back into that basketball game.
Let me ask you something about Creighton, and not that you know a lot about Creighton basketball, but we're all familiar with Greg McDermott. Greg McDermott's been on our show before.
And a couple of those players are guys we're very familiar with. Yeah.
Do you think it's weird for players in the back of their mind, knowing their head coach has announced his retirement?
It's got to be.
I would, and you've got. I know the next head coach is sitting right next to him, but do you think there's a level of just subconscious where our and we don't even know when he's going to leave. He might leave after this year. He might leave after next year. We don't even know. But you wonder if there is a level of, well, he's out of here. I don't want to think that players are like that, but people are human. We're all human.
Yeah, and maybe you said it right, Travis, like in the back of your brain. I mean, I can't imagine it had anything to do with yesterday. I don't think you can look at any part of yesterday and go, oh, well, yeah, that fire was gone because their coach is leaving. No, I think that yesterday it was Iowa State. The reason we saw Creighton look that way was because of the intensity that Iowa State came to the court with. In the back of their minds, is that there's somewhere that their coach is leaving? Maybe. I think my knee-jerk reaction, it has to be somewhere. I don't know how far back it is. And I don't know what kind of impact it shows, good or bad. Because I mean, that could be, there might be a thing of, hey, let's win one for the Gipper type of thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's got to be in there somewhere. I don't know where at.
And I can't forget when it comes to Creighton, because Creighton is, talking about a team that was in the Elite Eight a couple years ago, a perennial NCAA tournament team. But let's not forget, they also lost a guy in the name of Ryan Kalkbrenner, who I wasn't a big fan of, because he was one of these 7-footers that every time he ran up and down the court, I'm like, you're lazy, you're lazy. Well, he's dominating in the NBA right now for the Charlotte Hornets, and you're like, oh, maybe he was, when you have a 7-footer that can step out and hit the three and also block shots, you kind of take that for granted. Ryan Kalkbrenner, a lot better than Owen Freeman, right? I mean, you're like, okay, Owen Freeman's a decent player, but he's nowhere near what Ryan Kalkbrenner was. And you lose a big man like that gives you so much versatility that it changes the landscape. The thing about what happens to Creighton, because they lost to Gonzaga earlier, got the crap kicked out of them there, got the crap kicked out of them by Iowa State. is once you punch them in the face, they don't bounce back. And who can deliver a punch? Iowa State can deliver a punch quickly, both offensively and defensively.
Right.
Yeah.
Dude, you're like, oh, he was so lazy getting up and down the court. I hear Kareem in Airplane. You tell your old man to drag Walton up and down the court for 48 minutes. See how he feels.
Oh, man.
Is that the
one
line?
of the most underappreciated scenes in maybe movie history? Because there's probably a generation who is listening to the show right now have never seen the movie Airplane. You could never remake the film and deliver the same style of performances that was in Airplane. Son, do you like gladiator movies?
I saw a list the other day, Trav, of they listed the movies laugh per minute. How often is there a punchline? Airplane is by that metric, Airplane's the funniest movie ever made.
I'm gonna call bullshit on that.
Okay.
Tropic Thunder is a laugh every single minute of Tropic Thunder. I'm gonna call bullshit on that.
I wonder where Tropic Thunder would show up in some of these. I bet it wouldn't be like if you pulled up a list, I can't think of Rotten Tomatoes or something like that. If you pulled up one of those movies or one of those lists, I wonder if Tropic Thunder even makes the list.
Probably not, because
there's PC. But Airplane was way more
un-PC?
Un-PC.
I mean, when you drop a line, son, do you like gladiator movies? I mean, it's like...
You ever seen a grown man naked?
But we were different back then. We get to Tropic Thunder and you have half the subset of people.
Florence Henderson. You had Mrs. Brady talking jive to the guy.
Was it Mrs. Brady or was it? No, it was June Cleaver. It was Barbara.
Is that
Billingsley.
who that was?
Yeah, that was June Cleaver.
Yeah, okay, I knew it was.
And they have everybody line up on the airplane to beat the guy up. People with wrenches.
See, but the other funny thing about that, like the cast was unreal. You pull up the cast from Airplane, and it is like a who's who from that early 80s time of actors and actresses. But they got, in a way, kind of like Tropic Thunder. Like, you got actors that weren't normally in comedies.
And got him to be funny.
Robert Stack. Robert Stack was the guy from Unsolved Mysteries, man.
And he was Robert Stack, the guy in the air traffic control where, son, it's a bad day to stop sniffing glue.
Yeah, I think that was him.
Yeah.
I just pulled it up here because I wanted to see who all. It's funny because I don't recognize most of these names, but I recognize all the faces. What a great movie.
It really was.
Somebody mentioned Naked Gun. Did you like the Naked Gun movies? Those were Leslie Nielsen.
I think I liked the first one, but I don't put it in. It became such one-liners that I'm like, okay. I know Airplane was, but there was something different about Airplane. And Lloyd Bridges was also in Airplane, as somebody just pointed out. Lloyd Bridges he was the air traffic control guy.
Okay. Thank you.
If I were to put like slapstick stuff like that, I'm probably putting Tropic Thunder #1, just because I love Tropic Thunder. We love Tropic Thunder. Airplane #2. I don't know. And, Slapshot would be up there. I'm not a Naked Gun guy. I don't know why. Why do you think that is? I don't
know. It's a little bit too. Maybe it's a little bit too over the top with the slapstick stuff.
Yeah.
I saw this list the other day, that list that popped up of the 100 funniest movies of all time. And number 5 was one of the movies that I always thought was incredibly underrated. Do you like the Christopher Guest movies?
That would have been like Best in Show and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Waiting for Guffman was listed as the number 5 in this one of like laughs per minute. Waiting for Guffman was number 5. That's my favorite one.
I was going to say, you've talked about Waiting for Guffman for years. You've been preaching that movie for a long, long time in our time together. You've always said Waiting for Guffman is an amazing movie.
It's one that like you have to almost have the volume up because there's jokes in the background.
I'm going to have to go back and watch that. I think I've watched it once, and I don't think I was enamored with it as you were.
Yeah.
But sometimes you need to go back for seconds and maybe even thirds before you get
you got to understand what they're trying to do from the very get-go, because it's a movie that right away the punchlines start coming, but you can get lost if you're listening to the story. You can kind of get lost in it because it's about a town in Missouri called Blaine, Missouri, celebrating their sesquicentennial. And every part of it is hilarious. The town was established because this guy was going west to the West Coast. He was taking a group of explorers to the Pacific Ocean. And they get one night into the plains and they're sitting there, and all of a sudden the guy says, listen, you can hear the ocean. We've made it. And then, again, in the background, the town historian goes, now it turned out it was just the Missouri River that he was hearing, but he did convince everybody that they had made it to the Pacific Ocean.
Do you think Tropic Thunder? Do you think Tropic Thunder is like that, to where the first time you watch it, you don't know what Ben Stiller is actually trying to do in that movie, and that is mock Hollywood?
Yeah,
sometimes you're like, what is this? This is so politically incorrect. It's just wrong, and you don't understand the underlying tone of the comedy. That we're just picking on Hollywood here, on how people will sell out and do anything to win the Oscar. There's always an underlying tone.
Love him. I'm glad we thought of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Roger Murdoch was his character in.
He was the pilot. Lloyd Bridges was the air traffic controller guy, and then my dad says you're was it lazy? My dad says you're lazy.
I had to pull up the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar quotes. Yeah, he breaks character. Yeah. He says a lot of times you don't even run up and down the court. You don't even really try, except during the playoffs. And he goes, the hell I don't. Listen, kid, I've been hearing that crap since I was at UCLA. I'm out there busting my buns every night. You tell your old man to drag Walton and Lanier up and down the court for 48 minutes.
Do you think these guys knew it was funny when they were delivering it? Or are they sitting there going, God, are people going to like this? Are people going to get it?
Man, Kareem has been such an interesting character.
Yeah.
I mean, he is he's a fascinating dude. Fascinating dude. I think he probably got it. I'm betting that in that moment he was like, this is gonna be something.
And there's probably people that remember Kareem Abdul-Jabbar more for the airplane performance than they do for his basketball performance. And those would be non-sports fans, but they'd be like, hey, you were in a movie one time, right? I wonder if he ever gets that. Hey, you were a Laker. No, you were in a movie I watched back in the 70s. What year
probably
did Airplane come out?
Probably as often as he gets the thing of like, hey, didn't you fight Bruce Lee?
Did he?
Wasn't he trained by Bruce Lee?
I think so.
Or was it Chuck Norris? God, I hate these. I hate when my brain does this.
It's weird to imagine a guy 7 foot tall doing karate, right? It just doesn't seem right, body right.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Bruce Lee developed a deep friendship and a student-teacher relationship, with Abdul-Jabbar training in Lee's Jeet Kune Do for several years. They had a famous fight scene in a movie called Game of Death. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar played a character called Mantis.
How fitting.
My friends say I'll look like a praying mantis because I'm so weird looking.
It's that schnoz of yours.
What's that? It's my my skinny appendages.
Yeah.
And my funky way of approaching life. Or it's just my weird looks. It's one of those three things.
You're not weird looking. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say you're weird looking. I think it's how skinny you are.
Yeah.
And just the shape of your face.
Yeah.
That gives you that.
Again, it's more of just the way I look. And my behaviors. The fact that I act like a praying mantis.
You can tell this to Courtney. You know what they say about big noses.
Need a lot of Kleenex. Is that what they say? What do they say about guys with big noses?
Flag. Oh, he's weird looking.
I'm weird looking. It's okay. It's okay. I've embraced it over the years.
I think you're a handsome guy.
I appreciate that. I got like 3 people on the planet that think so. So
are there 2 of them women or just 2 of them men?
Well, let's see. Mom passed away, so maybe I'm down to 2 now.
Me and Courtney. Me and Courtney. You know, Ross, if I swung that way, I'd be...
I appreciate that, Trav. I appreciate that. Vest is doing it for me, just so you know.
Is it?
It does it for me. Oh, yeah.
I was getting dressed this morning, and I'm like, all I have for, like, winter clothes are blue. I'm like, I wore a blue sweater yesterday. I'm like, God, I'm going to be wearing blue every single day because the only thing I have is blue.
It's funny because I feel like all I have is green. I have like 3-4 pairs of green pants. And then I was cooking. What did I cook yesterday or a couple days ago? I made fried zucchini, but I put a lot of olive oil on them.
Yeah, that's healthy. That's healthy.
And then I dropped one onto my pants, and I got a great big grease stain. So I just tried to hit it with the Dawn Power Wash. Is that going to work for me?
Should.
It's in the dryer right now, so I should go check it out to see if it actually worked. Because
if advertising works, Dawn cuts the grease away, right? Wasn't that their slogan?
Something like that.
You put Dawn on something. And
Did you ever do the boat race thing when you were a kid with Dawn dish soap in school?
I don't remember that.
I remember a teacher, and so we had this great middle school teacher at Hyatt named Miss Gygax Kane. Her maiden name had been Gygax, Gygax. And when she got married, she basically told her husband, I'm not getting rid of that cool name. So she hyphenated her name to Gygax Kane. She was a really good science teacher. I remember her well. And I remember that it was, you'd have this pan that obviously had some sort of grease in it. And then you'd make a little boat out of paper, and you would drop a drop of Dawn dish soap on the back of the boat, and it would shoot the boat forward through the grease.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, she was a cool lady.
See what you remember from elementary school?
That was middle school. That was Hyatt. Didn't remember much from Hyatt. How to keep my head on the swivel. Remember that.
What are you doing tonight?
Tonight, I might go up to the district tonight. Is that what you're getting at?
Yes.
Yeah, dude, I'm excited about this.
So at the district tonight in Ankeny from 6 to 8:30, Atlantic Coca-Cola Bottling Company is bringing in the Coca-Cola Holiday Caravan, bringing thousands of sparkling lights, festive cheer, and unforgettable holiday moments. Since 1997, this iconic caravan has been a beloved tradition across the U.S. Photos with Santa. Create memories that last a lifetime. Free holiday portraits and perfect for your family celebrations. It kicks off tonight at the District in Ankeny from 6 to 8:30. It's going to be in town until December 1st, and we'll give you those locations each and every day on the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
The Rush Radio is now on the free TuneIn app, allowing you to enjoy the show on Apple products and Android Auto. Download the free TuneIn app and search The Rush Radio to take Travis and Ross wherever you go.
Your house wasn't built for bats, birds, or raccoons, but try telling them that. At Bats and Bugs Pest Solutions, we've been helping Iowans take back their homes for over 20 years. We use cost-effective, eco-friendly methods to solve wildlife and pest problems the right way. Whether it's bats in your attic, birds in the vents, raccoons in your chimney, or moles in your yard, we have long-term solutions. Call Bats and Bugs Pest Solutions today at 515-218-3400, and let's make sure your home doesn't become their home.
There's more Iowa in the Iowa Tap Room than you may realize. Housed in a building nearly as old as Iowa itself, the Iowa Tap Room greets you with a harvest of 120 Iowa craft beers on tap from all corners of the state. And the food doesn't get much more Iowa than this. The Iowa Tap Room, all Iowa beer, one amazing place.
There's always something new at Fong's Pizza. The patio is open and ready for you, your friends, and an ever-changing menu of tiki drinks. Or try our new noodle dishes alongside your favorite slice. It's all happening this summer at the new Fong's in the East Village.
Thinking about buying a home? Get pre-approved in 30 minutes with Gary Presnell at Northwest Bank in Des Moines. Gary offers first-time home buyers programs, VA, FHA, IFA, and conventional loans. Call Gary at 515-975-6767 or find his profile at nw.bank. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
You know, Brian, at Central City, we really do have the best selection around.
I know. High-quality stuff you can't find anywhere else.
Whistle Pig Plantation Rum.
Yeah, and over 150 of the best scotches on earth.
And a ton of bitters, mixers, and more.
You know what we are? High class.
Definitely high class, yeah.
Make way for the natty.
Okay, maybe medium class.
Central City Liquor is home of the 10% cash coupon.
And the Wooden Nickel program.
After Hawkeye football games this fall, Travis and Ross are right where they belong, with you taking your calls and giving unfiltered feedback. Right after Hawkeye football games, it's the Black and Gold Rush on the rushradio.com, the TuneIn app, and on YouTube.
A fuel choice that even rivals can agree on? Now that's worth the hype. Cheaper, cleaner, and homegrown. Pump it up with Unleaded 88.
Hi, I'm John Linares with Willis Lexus, and this November, we're starting early. We are starting our December to Remember sales event today. First off, I want to highlight a special lease on 2026 Annex Gas. It's $409 per month with $49.99 due at signing. Or you can take advantage of rates as low as 2.49 for 48 months or 3.49 for 60 months on IS model, all ES models, NX Gas, RX Gas, and TX Gas, and as an added bonus on 2026 RX Gas, NX, and TX Gas models. I invite you to stop in and take the new Lexus for a test drive, or visit us online at willislexus.com where you'll find some special offers.
For the holidays, bring real taste to the table with Gold Peak Real Brewed Tea. Made with real tea leaves and real cane sugar, Gold Peak delivers a golden, brewed for taste flavor that makes every moment more meaningful. Whether you're gathering with family or friends, celebrate the moments that matter the most, because real connections deserve real refreshment. For your upcoming holiday celebrations, choose Gold Peak Tea and bring real taste to the table.
Like a rash you thought was gone. Travis and Ross aren't contagious, but they are addictive. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
Willis Automotive is proud to power the Rush Radio Show. Whether you're searching for a new, pre-owned, or certified car, Willis is driven to serve. Visit willisauto.com and discover a better car buying experience. Willis Automotive, where your next great drive begins. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for listening and watching the Rush Radio Show. If you're listening on the audio stream at therushradio.com, the Rush Radio Android app, or the TuneIn app, good to have you along. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, give the video a like, leave your comments in the comment section, and, of course, you can follow us on our social media channels. My name is Travis Justice. His name is Ross Peterson. You have this concerned look on your face.
I want you, because you didn't tell me about this. I'm wondering if you know about it, because it involves one of your favorite subjects, and I don't want to derail what you had to talk about here, but I just saw this during the top of the hour, and the New York Post has an article out. The headline is, Paige Spiranek got tens of thousands of death threats after the Internet Invitational cheating controversy.
So she apparently fluffed her ball. She improved her lie.
Or her opponent, or her partner, her playing partner had a shot that was in some real thick grass. And I'm getting, just from what I'm reading here, she went over and kind of cleared some of the grass so he could get a better shot at it.
Yeah. And she's gone like radio silent on the socials. And she lives off the social media. That's where she makes her money. But yeah, I mean, they went after her. I mean, come on. Death threats over that? People are messed up, man. They're just messed up. You can be mad at her because she's a professional golfer, and she is a professional golfer.
Is she? Because I jumped in there and said she's not a professional golfer. She's an influencer.
She did well. She's an influencer now, but I think she spent like 1 year on the LPGA, so that makes you a professional golfer. She's not. She's no longer on the tour.
That's okay. So that's why I would say you're a former professional golfer.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think once you're a professional, you're always a professional.
Come on, man. It's not like being a Marine or being a governor. You're not. It's not once and always a. It's not one of those situations. What's Paige Spiranek known for?
Boobs.
She's not known for being a golfer. I'll tell you that. It's not. She's not Nancy Lopez.
Yeah, good point. She's not Michelle Wee.
No, she's not a golfer first. She's an influencer that uses golf. And I mean, if I were being really mean about her, I'd say she uses golf as a way to show off her boobs.
Absolutely. When you asked me what is she known for, I said her boobs. Because boobs. I mean, you don't watch Paige Sporanic for golf tips. You don't you watch her for her boobs and her golf outfits.
She's brought into, and I didn't this internet invitational thing that Barstool did. I didn't watch it. I had a lot of friends that did, and they were like, "Dude, this is super entertaining." I guarantee you, we've got several people in our that are listening right now that watched that thing, and that enjoyed it, because I had a lot of friends reach out and were like, dude, this is really cool. You guys should be watching this thing. It's kind of entertaining. But that's what it was meant for. It wasn't a golf competition. It was an entertainment event. I mean, I can't even tell you who won it, but I know several of the people that participated in it because it was an entertainment event. The one clip that I saw of it was the dude that drove through the fence over and over. You know what I mean? Like that was one of the things that came out of this thing. So people were upset because she cleared some grass behind a shot, something that you wouldn't be allowed to do in the PGA.
Yeah. And they're saying, well, this is a $1 million event, and you need to play by the golf rules.
Not your $1 million. What is wrong? Dude, tens of thousands of death threats? Is that what it said?
It wouldn't surprise me.
She has received tens of thousands of death threats to the point that she had to get a protective order. We're messed up as a society. Dude. We're so messed up.
And I will say this, and I was thinking about this the other day. Social media, for all its good parts. I mean, without social media, because we're live on YouTube, we're live on Facebook, we're live on X, we wouldn't be able to deliver this. But it is divided and created so much what's wrong with the country because of these anonymity, and you can say basically anything without any consequences. I will say this, Ross, and I've been noticing it more, and they're doing it for clicks. I know AI is going to be very good in some ways, but the unintended consequences are people just producing this stuff that looks real and people believe it. And where the AI is today compared to 6 months ago, you're like, and I'm like, right away, I'm like, oh, that's AI. It has to be AI, because there's no way I'm going to believe it, right?
What was that app I sent you a couple weeks ago? Remember I called you and I said, dude, I think I've seen the future.
Yeah.
What was it? It was called like Sora or something like that.
Because you created a video, or a charter showed you a video or something like that.
Well, yeah, it was actually Tim Scheib, another realtor here in Central Iowa that we've had a long time relationship with. Tim's a really fun guy to talk to, super smart. And Tim was showing me these videos that were crazy. I mean, they're insane. He actually produced one and put it out there, and it was like it was him selling a haunted house, and he's like, and the clip of it is like me selling a haunted house, and he's in a house with the lady, and they hear a noise, and the lady goes, "Thought you said this house wasn't haunted," and he goes, "It's not." And in the next scene, Tim is like leaping out of the window, doing a somersault in the grass, and running away from the house. He showed me one in like 5 minutes. One day we were sitting there having lunch, and he's like, watch how quick this is. And he just kind of opened up his phone and talked into it for a few minutes, and then set the phone down. He and I continued our conversation. Not 3 minutes later, he goes, let's see what it's come up with. Turns it over. There's a video of him and Jake Paul sitting on a couch having a conversation about what we just talked about.
Wow.
They like dab each other up. He's like, what's up, man? How you doing? He's like, doing good, buddy. And then they repeat part of the conversation that he and I just had. I'm like,
515-517-2303. Let's go to Derek down in New Sharon. Derek, what's going on, buddy?
Speaking of being messed up, it's a pleasure to be on with you, fellas.
You're a happy guy after that game yesterday.
Hey, we're rolling through the Big East. We get another Big East opponent today we're going to roll through.
Well, Syracuse isn't in the Big East, but that's fine.
They're not?
No.
Oh, yeah, they're in the ACC. Yeah, I forgot that one. Hey,
I love it.
Yeah, well, Corey looked pretty good yesterday for a true freshman. I don't know how long Lipsey's out, but he needs to get back. We got it. This is a pretty good team here. I'm thinking the top 15 all year long.
That's
I
fair.
think that's
already in the dance.
Yeah, I think that's a fair place to be, Derek, with this basketball team. And we should have these sorts of conversations all season long with this Iowa State basketball team. I mean, again, barring some sort of big injury or something like that, this should be a really fun season for you Iowa State basketball fans. Certainly.
All four big teams, Iowa State men and women, are good. They're all going to be ranked in the top 20.
Good.
Two of them already are. 3 of them already are.
Yep, that's a good way to look at it. And Iowa's got some work to do to get there, I think. I mean, they're really good. And I agree with you. I think that they're playing like a top 25 team, especially after what we watched last night. Beat up a Grand Canyon team tonight. Play well against Michigan State and Iowa State. I mean, again, a lot has to happen here. A lot of chips have to fall that direction for the Hawkeyes to get into that conversation. Iowa State is barring injury, locked into that top 15.
Yeah. Hey, you guys have a happy Thanksgiving, and see you next Monday morning.
Happy Thanksgiving to you, Derek. Take care, buddy. Enjoy your days off.
Yeah.
515-517-2303 if you want to chime in. Of course, coming up the day after Thanksgiving, Black Friday. If you choose to do your shopping on that day, you're going to be, of course, probably glued to your television. At least some of you will be.
By the way, real quick, is like, remember when we were kids, dude. I remember my mom and ex-wife and like leaving Thanksgiving dinner to go shopping Thursday night.
I'm glad you brought up your ex-wife, because I remember when we started doing the show together back in 2011, 2012. Black Friday would come around and you're like, oh, Aaron's at Walmart at like 2 a.m. I'm like, who does this anymore?
Yeah.
That's a good question. I don't remember when they used to have the fights over the toy, the Tickle Me Elmo. There'd be fights in Walmart. That's where I would love social media, is where you could just see what happened at the dysfunctional Walmart. But I think most people now just go to Amazon and have it shipped right to their house, and they don't have to do the Black Friday shop.
I'm dead serious. Is Black Friday still like a? Are there sales on Black Friday?
Yeah,
I remember.
there's sales, but you know what? The internet started their Black Friday sales like 2 weeks ago. Get the Black Friday special now, because you want to sell it now instead of wait till Black Friday if you can make a sale. I don't know if people still. I don't think places open up early anymore. I could be wrong. Justin's probably going to fact check that and say, Travis, Walmart opens at 5 a.m. on Friday. And he could probably tell me that. I don't know.
Fake Bob Vanderplatz brings up the movie Jingle All the Way. Do you remember? Have you ever seen that one? You're in that gap where I think you would have missed that one. It was an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie about Black Friday, where he was trying to find his kid this like specific toy. Turbo Man, Tyler writes in.
I need a Turbo Man. All I care about on Black Friday is the Iowa-Nebraska game, which starts at 11 o'clock in the morning, which would be nice because the Black and Gold Rush will follow. We'll be right after the game. We'll have fun with that. Of course, this is a rivalry game. You got the Heroes game. But yesterday, Kirk Ferentz talked a little bit about the rivalry and somewhat of the meaning. Who does it really mean more to? And I think he may hit this one on the head.
Yeah, I can't speak for our players, but I think it's probably more fans than players sometimes. But, even going around now, you still, people out in Western Iowa, they were either on one camp or the other. And fortunately, we've got more in our camp than we used to. But, yeah, it's just it's part of, I think, what makes conference football pretty cool. And we weren't in the conference for so many years. Now that we have been, I think it's probably been a little bit more ingrained now that, we're past that 2010, 2012 time period and what have you. But, week to week, there's so many games here that are just, they're all tough. And this one's going to be another tough one. I think that's really where we try to keep our focus.
The rivalry means more to the fans than it does the players. I don't necessarily it means a lot to the players, but it does seem with the chatter you see, the back and forth, oh, you're living in the glory days, all this other stuff. I do think it's more of which is fine. Rivalries are for the fan. They're for players, but they're for fan bases too. Do you agree with him that it's more with the fans than it is the players?
I think that rivalries in general are more for the fans than they are for the players. I mean, we talk to Tyler Kluver often. We're lucky enough to have Tyler on and get that perspective. But, dude, every player I've ever met will tell you it's not just cliche. It's about the next game. When you wake up on Monday morning, I always remember my buddy Derek Pagel telling me, dude, they have a way of convincing you that the guy that you're lining up across from is going to win the Heisman. They have a way of convincing. It doesn't matter. You got Rice coming up on Saturday. On Monday morning, your position coach gets in front of you and says, you don't have any idea how good this guy is. He's about to burn you. You got to get ready. You got to get ready to play directional Michigan, because they got a dude here that's that can torch you, and your future is dependent on you playing really good on Saturday. Doesn't matter who we got the week after. Doesn't matter what trophy you're picking up after the game. You got to win the battle with that guy on Saturday on Friday when the whistle blows. And I do think that that inside the locker room they do a very good job of staying focused on that thing, and that makes each game have that kind of importance. Rivalries are absolutely for the fans. Now, when it's Iowa State and half of your locker room grew up in Iowa, or a quarter or whatever it is grew up in Iowa.
Probably was recruited by Iowa State.
There you go. Made that decision on which one of those schools to go to, or didn't get an offer from one of the schools and wanted to, or whatever. Then I think it gets amped up a little bit, because inside the locker room, those guys care more. Travis, to your point about the Nebraska-Iowa rivalry, you are in the heart of it, dude. You and Owen have always been my true thermometer on how hot that rivalry is, because I'll be honest, dude, in central Iowa, I do not deal with arrogant Nebraska fan. In fact, what I have dealt with for the last decade has been contrite Nebraska fan. I've dealt with self-deprecating Nebraska fan.
Do you know why that is? It's because when you're outnumbered, you tend not to try to make your case, right? And he brought it up. He mentioned Western Iowa. I had to cut part of his soundbite a little short because he got a little long-winded, but he brought up the 712 area code, which is Western Iowa. He brought up Sioux City and how, basically in the 712 area code, the Omaha World Herald is the predominant paper. It wasn't the Des Moines Register. When it comes to television, people in the 712 area code were not watching KCCI and WHO TV. They're watching all the Omaha channels, and that's what you get inundated with as far as coverage goes. So when I became a sports director at KMTV, which was the CBS affiliate in Omaha, being the Iowa guy, I'm like, I'm going to do more for Iowa. I'm going to cover the Hawks more. I'm going to cover Iowa State more. I'm going to cover Western Iowa high schools more. But then you realize really quick, well, you have 1 million people in Omaha, and the most of your audience doesn't share your same belief. You kind of got to go, well, I have good intentions here, but Iowa's not going to lead the news. It's going to be Nebraska, because that's what your fan base is. Right? And when you get inundated with it from a newspaper standpoint, from a television standpoint, just imagine if the University of Iowa was in Council Bluffs. Oh, my God. But just imagine that. You would probably have people on the eastern half of the state be Illinois fans, Wisconsin fans, because you would get more of that coverage. It's just such a long way to Iowa City, and you're so close to a fairly major media market to where you're getting inundated with it, that those people just automatically became fans. And it was easier to drive to Lincoln, Nebraska from Council Bluffs than it is to Iowa City.
And I think you're not missing, but you're leaving out a very, very, very important part of this equation.
They were really good during that time.
They won for several decades. They were a dominant force in the college football landscape, and as Iowa has never reached those mountaintops that Nebraska was at, but Iowa has dominated this particular series.
Absolutely.
And I think that's what Coach Ferentz is talking about when he's like, well, we've closed that gap a little bit there in Western Iowa. Winning is a part of it. Winning is a part of it. Winning does something to a little kid. There's a reason I'm a Yankees fan when every other male with the last name Peterson is a Cubs fan. Well, not everyone. My Uncle Brad's a Cardinals fan. So winning does something. You were are you a Celtics fan or a Lakers fan? I don't remember.
No, I was a 76ers fan.
That's right.
Everybody that my dad picked as his favorite team, I went totally against. My dad was a Celtics fan, so I grew up, when the 76ers were coming around with Dr. J. I mean, that's when I really – so you had the 76ers and the Celtics going. So I'm a Steelers fan. Why? Because they won. I'm a Yankees fan. Why? Because they won. I'm a 76ers fan. They did win a world championship. Weren't as dominant as the Lakers or the Celtics, but they were winning at the time, had some really good teams. They had Chocolate Thunder, Daryl Dawkins, just those flashy players that you're like, oh, as a young kid, you're like, I want to dunk like that. I want to break a backboard. I want to fly like Dr. J. So, yeah, you're right. You are influenced probably, if you don't have a team in your own town, by whoever wins. And I'll say this. My first college football game that I remember is 1982, was it, when Iowa beat Nebraska. I'm in Aspinwall, Iowa, at my cousin Carol's wedding, and I'm sitting in the car listening to Jim Zabel, and I believe Iowa won that game 10-7, and that's when you had to listen to it on the radio. I don't think it was on TV at the time. And you become an Iowa fan right there because all your friends are Nebraska fans. You can go back to school and go, hey, did you see what happened? See what happened? And, Owen grew up an Iowa fan probably because of me. His best friend Spencer is a huge Nebraska fan. What I like about this rivalry is those two have committed since they were juniors in high school to go to this game together every single year. So I remember him driving to Iowa City, and they have not missed an Iowa-Nebraska game together
That's cool.
since 2017.
That's super cool.
That is super cool. And it can be a friendly rivalry, but it can be nasty. It can be really, really nasty. Now, the rivalry heated up last year. Remember when they all came out before the coin toss and Nebraska refused to shake Iowa players' hands. Remember that?
I forgot about that. Remember Jay Higgins? Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Now Matt Rule says there's no bad blood. There's no bad blood between Iowa and Nebraska.
I don't know how they feel about us. I respect any coach that's done what they've done as long as that. And I think all of us are just we're focused on us right now. And at the end of the day, it's about trying to win a game. 2 years in a row, and I've watched them kick a field goal to win it and walk off the field and watch them celebrate and tell us, hey, have a Merry Christmas, because they knew we weren't going to a bowl. So to the victor belongs the spoils. I respect them. I respect the way they play. I respect their coaches. I respect Phil Parker more than probably any other coach in college football. So there's no bad blood for me, at least.
No bad blood, but for the last 2 years, I've had to watch him walk off the field after kicking a field goal, telling us Merry Christmas. There's bad blood there.
There's a little bit of that Donald Trump thing there. Whenever I hear somebody say, listen, there's nobody that respects him, and nobody in the world respects that guy more than me. I'm probably the least racist person on the planet. I'm not what you say. I'm the exact opposite to the extreme. There's no bad blood. There's no coach on the planet that respects Norm Parker the way that I do, or Phil Parker the way that I do. Nobody in the world that respects him more. Listen, I like Matt Rule. I do. I agree. There's a lot of people in the comments right now like, this guy's such a douche canoe.
No, I don't think he's a douche canoe.
He kind of, I can see how people do that. All right. I do agree with, let's take what he said there, because I do agree with what Matt Rule. I think that Matt Rule, he seems to have respect and admiration for Kirk Ferentz. Now, maybe that's just him playing the press conference game, and maybe when the doors are closed, he's actually a guy that's like, man, screw that guy. Screw the way he does things. But I don't get that impression.
I think Matt Rule is a master who understands, because he's had a number of jobs, Temple, Baylor, the Panthers. I think he's smart enough to understand the coaching fraternity is a small world. Unless somebody really gets under your skin, don't burn bridges. I think he's masterful at not burning bridges. Yeah. And believe it or not, you'd be surprised if, I don't know if they get along or not. I don't know if they, when they go to Big Ten meetings, they sit down and have a beer. Who knows?
Probably not.
Probably not.
I think he's more talking about just his professional demeanor and his, you just kind of talked about it. Matt Rule has bounced around a lot. I bet he respects the fact that Kirk Ferentz has been able to live in one community and raise a family. I think when a lot of coaches talk about Kirk Ferentz, it's more than his winning percentage. It's more than his accomplishments with bowl games or things like that. I think that when you hear coaches speak with reverence about Kirk Ferentz, it's almost always even mentioned, man, there's something about that longevity. There's something about being there that long and maintaining, because maintaining is hard, man.
It is.
It's a really hard thing to do for years, to stay consistent and stay on message and stay relevant and all those things. And Kirk Ferentz has done that.
Let me ask you something.
Or fire away.
Would you take 27 years of Kirk Ferentz at what it is, or would you have taken a coach that won a national title?
B.
That's fair. And that's fair.
Do I love Kirk Ferentz? Do I have that same reverence? Yes, and yes. I respect him greatly. This is why it's always hard when you get on a Saturday afternoon and the Hawkeyes have lost in a game that you were hoping that they would win, or when you have those games when you realize, oh, we're not a college football playoff team. We're not a special team. We want to be special. We want to be special.
Dude, we want to be like somebody. The phone books are here.
Yeah, right. I'm reminded of the Steve Stone line. I mention this from time to time, but it's one of my favorite baseball quotes of all time. Steve Stone is getting ready, and I have to look it up what year Steve Stone won the Cy Young Award, because it's an important part of this conversation.
Let me throw it. I'm going to take a guess. I have no idea, but just let me guess. I'm going to say Steve Stone won the Cy Young in 1974.
Boy, why can't I even find it here? I even tried to Google Steve Stone Cy Young, and I don't see it. Won the Cy Young in 1980. Okay.
Wow, that's later than I thought it was going to be.
So the story
goes
goes
like one good year, right?
Yeah, really. I mean, he had been pitching since 1971, and he joined the White Sox in 73, and now he played for the Cubs for a couple years. But now it's 1980. He's 9 years into his career. He's getting ready before the 1980 season in spring training, and the story goes that his pitching coach comes up behind him, and he's watching Steve Stone throw 9 years into his career, and the pitching coach says, "Man, Stoney, you keep this up, you're going to have a really good career." Steve Stone heard that and went, "I don't want a really good career. I want to be great. I don't want to be really good. I don't want to be an also known as. I want to be great." And his great line is, "And in that moment, for 1 year, the baseball gods decided to lend me their greatness." And he had 1 year where he was amazing, where he decided, what if I go out there and I do it all one time? Give it my all. Every time I go out, what happens? He won the Cy Young in 1980. His career was over by 1982. He wins the Cy Young in 1980. His last year of pitching is 1981 for the Baltimore Orioles.
But you know what he has? He has a Cy Young.
He had that greatness. He had that moment of greatness. And I think that's the thing as sports fans. That's what we're always hoping for. Is that, man, maybe this is the year that the sports gods lend us that greatness. And you get close, and you get a taste of it at some point in the season, or you start to get a glimmer of it at some point in the season, and your hopes get up, and then your hopes get dashed. And that's unfortunately a part of being a sports fan. But if you're asking me, would I rather have a really good career or a great moment? I want that taste of that great moment.
Well, let's use Nebraska as an example. And I'll ask you, if Iowa would have won 2 national championships in the 70s, 3 in the 90s, and went 25 years with crap, you would still probably trade in that the crap for the national championship.
I still have a hoodie from a 2015 World Series that my favorite team wasn't even in. You know what I'd be doing? I'd be rocking this Hawkeye T-shirt would have national champions written on it instead of grease.
Yeah, you'd be living in the glory years because that's what your memory is.
Yeah.
You know what a great stocking stuffer is?
I know.
With Black Friday coming up, you don't even have to go to Walmart. You don't have to go to Target. You can go to any Iowa Lottery retailer, which hell will probably be your local gas station, and pick up a holiday-themed scratch, match, and win ticket. It's that simple. Prizes from $500 to $250,000. Holiday Gold, Holiday Bright, Merry and Bright, Holiday 10 Times, Merry Money, Peppermint Crossword, and Chillin' with the Nomies. So, ho, ho, ho.
Just say no, no, no to traditional holiday gift giving.
That's right. Iowa Lottery. scratch-off tickets at your
I'm
Iowa
really,
Lottery
I'm
retailers.
really just trying to plead for a spot on that creative team at the Iowa Lottery. I'm really just trying to. They don't need my help. I'll tell you that.
I'll
They're
write her
killing
and say,
it.
hey, can we be part of your creative team one time? Can we get
just
down
wanna,
and
we just want to sit in, see how the magic works. We just
can
want to.
Can we whiteboard with you?
We just want to wet our beak a little bit on that creativity.
When we come back, I got to give Ross some kudos and say he was right. Gonna have to do it.
Feel
Gonna
like
have to get on
Goldie
my knees.
Wilson all of a sudden walking around here. Yeah, that's right.
It is the Rush Radio Show powered by Willis Automotive. For the holidays, bring real taste to the table with Gold Peak Real Brewed Tea. Made with real tea leaves and real cane sugar, Gold Peak delivers a golden, brewed for taste flavor that makes every moment more meaningful. Whether you're gathering with family or friends, celebrate the moments that matter the most because real connections deserve real refreshment. For your upcoming holiday celebrations, choose Gold Peak Tea and bring real taste to the table.
Your house wasn't built for bats, birds, or raccoons, but try telling them that. At Bats and Bugs Pest Solutions, we've been helping Iowans take back their homes for over 20 years. We use cost-effective, eco-friendly methods to solve wildlife and pest problems the right way. Whether it's bats in your attic, birds in the vent, raccoons in your chimney, or moles in your yard, we have long-term solutions. Call Bats and Bugs Pest Solutions today at 515-218-3400, and let's make sure your home doesn't become their home.
Thankful? More like tankful of gas in your new Nissan SUV. This November, we're giving thanks for you. At Willis Nissan, we're celebrating 0% financing and special model year closeout savings on our most popular Nissans. If you've been getting hungry for a new Pathfinder or Murano, there's never been a better time to scoop one onto your plate. So sit around our table or visit us online at willisnissan.com.
After Hawkeye football games this fall, Travis and Ross are right where they belong, with you taking your calls and giving unfiltered feedback. Right after Hawkeye football games, it's the Black and Gold Rush on the rushradio.com, the TuneIn app, and on YouTube.
A fuel choice that even rivals can agree on? Now that's worth the hype. Pump it up with Unleaded 88.
Hey, it's Noel from Fiscus Jewelers. This holiday season, give the gift of sparkle that lasts a lifetime. From our latest designs to timeless favorites, there's something for everyone on your list. Already have a Fiscus diamond? Bring it in and trade up with our 100% trade up program. It's the perfect way to shine a little brighter this year. And if you're dreaming up something custom, get your design started by December 1st for Christmas delivery. Let's make this season magical together. Fiscus Jewelers, your jeweler for life.
The largest selection of German beer in the world? You'll find it at the Hessen House. From Doppelbocks to Oktoberfest to Hefeweizens and Dunkels, there's no passport needed for the deliciously different beer and food at the Hessen House. So grab your friends and make it a fun night out. The Hessen House, 4th and Court, Des Moines.
You know, Brian, at Central City, we really do have the best selection around.
I know, high quality stuff you can't find anywhere else.
Whistle Pig Plantation Rum.
Yeah, and over 150 of the best scotches on earth.
And a ton of bitters, mixers, and more.
You know what we are? High class.
Definitely high class, yeah. Make way for the natty.
Okay, maybe medium class.
Central City Liquors, home of the 10% cash coupon.
And the wooden nickel program.
Hi, I'm Sean, Service Manager here at Mini of Des Moines. The holiday season is just around the corner, and now's a great time for you to make sure your Mini is ready for any holiday plans you have. Visit us now to take advantage of our $100 mail-in rebate on the purchase of 4 select tires. Visit us online or give us a call to schedule your appointment.
Back like a rash you thought was gone. Travis and Ross aren't contagious, but they are addictive. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
Remember to pump it up with Unleaded 88. It's grown by corn farmers right here in the state of Iowa, so pump it up with Unleaded 88. Go to iowacorn.org for more. All right, I got to give you kudos, Ross.
What did I do?
Usually you're the gullible one. Usually you are the one who believes in people.
Yeah.
It's not me. It's not me.
Yeah.
And I wanted to believe in Lane Kiffin. I watched that wonderful documentary they did on him and how he's a changed man and all this stuff. And he's really starting to prove that a zebra doesn't change its stripes, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he's just what he's doing to Ole Miss, what he's doing in playing the fence when it comes to the coaching positions at Florida and LSU and the offer that he has as Ole Miss is downright cruelty to a fan base. It's cruelty to a university that has given you everything you wanted. And the truth is, it's cruel to his players that now have one loss and are a victory away from being in the college football playoff. And it's amazing to me that the way this is going down, it's a bad look to the point where I don't even know how you can stay. I don't know how you could stay, even if he comes back and says, I'm with Ole Miss. I was never going to go. You should have said that a long time ago if that was the case, because you have a fan base that feels betrayed. Can you imagine if we were going through this with Iowa State or Iowa? We'd be livid if we were getting pulled along on a string, right?
Yeah.
And, yesterday he's like, he was asked if the players, care about players can leave every year. We're at a different time. Players care, especially when you are this close to the college football playoff.
You've done it.
All you got to do is win the Egg Bowl.
That's my thing with him leaving. This whole time we've talked about it, I've been like, wait, for what? To do what? To have a chance to play in the college football playoff? To have a chance to play for potentially a national championship? It's that old parable about the fisherman and the businessman, right? Where the fisherman takes the businessman out to fish, and he's like, hey, you could really scale this operation up. The fisherman's like, what do you mean? He's like, well, you don't own the means of production here. You should own the factory as well. So when you catch the fish, you go back and then you run the factory, and then you could multiply your money several times over. And the fisherman's like, yeah, but I fish in the day and then I spend time with my family at night. And the businessman says, yeah, but if you own the operation and then you own the means of production, you could make a lot more money, and then that would free up your time so that you could fish in the morning and spend your afternoons with the kids at night. The fisherman's like, I'm already there. I'm there.
It's like the Ray Kroc movie, right? Where, Ray, you're not in the hamburger business. You're in the real estate business.
Yes.
And now the college football playoff poll dropped last night. Ohio State still number 1, Indiana number 2, Texas A&M number 3, Georgia number 4, Texas Tech number 5. Oregon leapfrogs Ole Miss. So Oregon is now number 6. Ole Miss is number 7, which I think there's two things that happen here. You drop them a spot because if they get beat by Michigan State or Mississippi State, you can drop them all the way out of the playoff, right? Yep. And if Lane Kiffin leaves, which would really make Ole Miss fans, because I don't think he would stay for the playoff, because if you're LSU or Florida, there's a potential you could coach into mid-January, maybe, and you would lose valuable recruiting time. That could drop Ole Miss from hosting a playoff game, which they have said would be the biggest sporting event in the state of Mississippi history.
Wow.
You could because if you're on that selection committee, you're going, well, Ole Miss isn't the same Ole Miss without Lane Kiffin. He calls the plays. That's his superpower, right? I mean, you can't argue the fact the guy can call plays. And I wanted to believe the documentary. I wanted to believe that he was a changed man. And I don't have a problem taking another job. I got a problem with the way you string somebody along. That's the bad part of this whole thing. And it's just, listen, we don't have a dog in this fight. We're not, my daughter works at Ole Miss, so I pay attention. But at the end of the day, I'm not a fan of Ole Miss. But you sit there and go, this is not if you want to know how not to handle a situation, in public relations classes, everything, in coaching classes, they should say, this is not how you handle this. They've given you respect by giving you money, a long-term deal, offered an extension, basically saying they're going to match any offer you get. Give them the same amount of respect. And even if you come back and say, well, I'm here, I think the damage is done because people are emotional creatures. Fans are fanatic. I think they'll always be like, do we trust him? Is he going to do it again next year? Is he going to do it the year after that? When will be the time he decides to leave? It's just cruelty. And don't give me this crap that players don't care because they can leave anytime they want.
Oh, they care.
Yes, they do.
Imagine how you'd feel if this was a quarterback doing this to you. I can imagine if Rocco Becht came out and was like, "Hey, I might be leaving. We're gonna have to see what things look like here financially in a couple months, but I might be leaving." Wink, wink. How would fans would feel? Because man, look at how we react when kids transfer. The kid transfers away from your university, and it's like, "Oh, he's just doing it for the money. He never was built the Hawkeye way. He couldn't handle Kirk Ferentz intensity," right? Doesn't matter how many years the kid was in the locker room. Doesn't matter how many years the kid played for your favorite team. He leaves. Oh, screw him. He's dead to us. Why don't we have that same reaction for these coaches? And maybe we do. Maybe we do.
Because
I love that we've got Abigail
We really
down
haven't
there.
seen anything like this. Have you seen anything like this in the
I
coaching
can't remember
world?
anything like this. I mean, I'm sure we could think back on it, Trav. We have pretty short memories when it comes to this stuff. I bet somebody in the chat could throw us a name of a coach that kind of did this same sort of thing. I mean, it's not quite the same as when Gene Chizik was leaving Iowa State to go to Auburn, but that'd probably be one of our closest examples to it here in Iowa. Maybe when... See, and not even Alford, because Alford was kind of getting he'd worn thin.
Yeah, people were ready for him to leave.
People weren't ready for that with Lane Kiffin a month ago. When we first started talking about this several weeks ago, we were like, no. That was my first instinct. Is like, oh, you don't leave. You shouldn't leave this Ole Miss gig. This is the place where you can have your legacy. But when you said I was right about him, what you're talking, because I did say, hey, look at the history here. Look at his history. He does not want to plant roots and grow somewhere. He wants the next best opportunity. And he has shown that over and over and over. Not next best opportunity to win. He wants next best opportunity for Lane.
And where this becomes where he's different than other coaches. He's been posting quotes, cryptic quotes on X. You send your family to Gainesville. You send your family to Baton Rouge, on a plane, and you make it very public. I can't remember a coach doing that ever. The only time I remember something as weird is when the Nebraska coaching search, after they fired Frank Solich, Nebraska sent a plane to Fayetteville, Arkansas to pick up Houston Nutt, and there was television coverage of just the plane sitting there, and Houston Nutt was supposed to get on the plane, and he never got on the plane. That's about as much drama, but the season was over at that point. And here you have a team that's in the mix for the national title, pushed Georgia. It's the only loss. It's not like they can't compete with any team in the country. 10-1. It's absolutely crazy. Abigail said his son allegedly wore LSU headphones to his Oxford high school football game where he's the starting quarterback. That's, again, a troll job. Don't troll your own fan base. Don't troll the people. That's like biting the hand that feeds you. A fan base that has been very welcoming, that's very passionate. Again, I don't care that you take a new job. That happens. We see it all the time. Loyalty is not something that you see all the time like you get with a Kirk Ferentz or even Matt Campbell to this point. You can say Matt Campbell's been overly loyal to Iowa State. He's had plenty of offers.
I want to think about this out loud. I don't want any of these statements that I'm about to make to be held as gospel or my actual thoughts, okay? Because I'm just thinking about this out loud.
And that's fine.
I didn't like that Ole Miss tried to give him that quote-unquote ultimatum. And then they came back out and said, we didn't give an ultimatum.
They did.
But that could have been, I think they probably did. How much of this, again, I'm going to say this out loud. I genuinely am curious, and I'm trying to process it in my own brain as I say it. How much of Lane Kiffin's handling of this is because of that? Because right away I said, bad move. Ole Miss should not have done an ultimatum. Human beings hate ultimatums. We act really, really weird when we get cornered. We do things that are illogical and can hurt our own goals just for the sake of spiting the person that put us into the corner.
I would say it probably played a little part of that. I won't deny that.
You're right, man. A zebra doesn't change its stripes, and that's a big part of this conversation. This is who Lane Kiffin is and who Lane Kiffin has been. But when Ole Miss said that thing of, all right, we need a decision before the Egg Bowl, my gut reaction to that was, or what? Or what?
Yeah, what are you going to do?
And now Lane Kiffin is playing that game with him. He's like, oh, okay. Wasn't going to consider these things, but now I'll fly my family around. I'll let everybody know. I have my kid wear the L. Because, again, the kid wearing LSU headphones, whether that's true or not, that's a troll job. That's a troll
Cryptic
job.
quotes on your X account, that's a troll job. Just enough to make you go, what's he doing? Because they could go both ways. The quotes could go both ways. They could justify a move or they could justify a stay. You're left to, and when human beings are left to think on their own without actual facts and to make it up in your own head, we can go crazy. We can go absolutely crazy. That's why it's like, I don't know, man. I don't think it's Florida. I think it's either LSU or it's
in fact,
Ole
I
Miss.
saw this morning that Florida was backing out of that. Am I crazy? I
Wouldn't
saw this
surprise
from.
me. Well, that would tell you, if they're backing out, Ross, you know what they've been told? I'm not going to Gainesville.
Ross Dellinger from Yahoo Sports apparently has reported that Florida has backed out of the Lane Kiffin sweepstakes. Now, again,
When do you back out? When you know you're not going to get your guy.
Right. Somebody put in the chat earlier, and I think I agree with this. I wish I could remember who it was, and it's going too fast for me to scroll back. We have too many high-profile jobs opening up and not enough high-profile coaches.
Guess what? You don't need a high-profile coach. That's the danger
Good
of
news
coaching.
is Chip Kelly's available, everybody. So just slow down. We got another high-profile coach that's out there on the market.
And so is Brian Kelly. You got two Kellys.
Yeah.
Chip
Retread.
Yeah. Well, Brian Kelly's now saying that because he hasn't properly been fired from LSU and they haven't settled yet, it's hindering from him getting another college coaching job.
Yeah.
Well, if you want a job, then take the buyout that they're offering.
We got a lot of commas that we got to figure out. Yeah.
If you
got a
want
lot
to
of
coach,
dollars we got to figure out before I make any decisions here, folks.
And LSU's probably pretty smart going, well, if you want to coach again, we're offering you $20 million. Take the $20 million, and we'll call it good, and then you go away. And $20 million is generational money. That sets up a family for a long time because you're going to go make millions more coaching. I mean, James Franklin got $9 million to go away now from Penn State, but he's still going to make
he's going to do
$8
okay.
million a year at Virginia Tech.
Christmas is going to be just fine in Franklin House. Everybody, relax.
We didn't bring this up earlier, but Mike says Art Briles took a new job, working his way back into the mix. Well, he's at Division II Eastern New Mexico. He's soon to be 70 years old. I don't think he's working his way back into the mix. I think he's just going to coach and right off into the sunset.
Yeah.
He just wants to coach.
I think he's doing okay, too. I don't think Art Briles wants to get back in the spotlight. I really don't. There's so much gross around his time at Baylor.
Yeah.
That got swept under the rug or just never really got the publicity it should have gotten. I think that Art Briles is smart to say, hey, let's not dig up some of those old ghosts. I got a lot of those stuffed in a closet, and I'd rather not readdress a lot of it. So let's just stay at directional New Mexico rather than take a job where people are actually going to start. I mean, remember he took a job with the Canadian Football League. And they had to let him go within weeks or days of that happening.
He was going to be the offensive coordinator at Grambling, I believe, and they had to say, no, I'm not. He had to step away. And so he can go hide in Eastern New Mexico.
There's a lot of gross there. A lot of gross.
Other coaching news, of course, Iowa State plays Oklahoma State on Saturday. Oklahoma State now has its new head coach. Eric Morris will leave North Texas and take over the Cowboy program. North Texas has really developed into a pretty darn good football team. They've got a really good quarterback who's one of the 5,000 Davey O'Brien finalists. But he will finish the season with North Texas. That still could make the college football playoff out of the group of 5. But he will finish his season through the bowl game and then take over the Cowboy program. And that's not as bad because you're going from North Texas to Oklahoma State, and you go, okay, I fully understand that. The one that kind of surprised me, Jim Mora is now being reported as the new head coach at Colorado State. A deal is being worked out. He'll leave UConn to where he's had back-to-back 9-win seasons and go to Colorado State. And that just comes from a conference standpoint. You're probably going, okay, you're going into the new Pac-12. You have a brand new stadium. You have and you know, UConn is a women's basketball school and a men's basketball school. You're always going to be second fiddle as far as football goes. And then the other one, the surprising one, is Tim Polasek, former Iowa assistant coach. He got an extension at North Dakota State that's going to give him more money for the program and his assistant coaches, which, you know, in the FCS world, sometimes you can go, you know, I got it pretty good. Much like Ben Jacobson at Northern Iowa. You can go, I got it pretty good here. They take care of me. They're going to give me the resources to win. And maybe winning is more important than having the $1 million payday. So, all right, it's time to see if we screwed up at all today, Ross.
Oh, boy, we've screwed up.
Have we? It's time to see if we've screwed up at all.
What's up,
Joining
Justin?
us now.
What's up?
What are you doing, man?
Just enjoying the show as always.
Have we screwed up at all today?
Yeah.
Actually, not that bad. No.
Look at us.
Like, it's more just.
Okay, we don't need you. Nope, we didn't screw up.
Yeah,
We don't need
okay.
you. All right, see you,
Great.
Justin. Have a great Thanksgiving.
No, Travis, you mentioned the first Iowa-Nebraska game you remember. You said
Was it-
1982. I think you mean 81. I was
Okay,
just
so-
looking through the scores. 82, Nebraska won 42-7. 81,
80
Iowa won 10-7.
Okay, so I was off by a year. So that's fair. That's fair. That needed corrected.
Yeah, and I didn't remember
and-
that, Justin, because I was only 3 years old when that happened. I mean, Travis, what were you, 25
I was
at that time?
I was 11. I was 11
okay.
at the time.
I thought about being a jerk and being like, were you meaning the 1891 5-2 game? But I decided not to. I wasn't going to say that. I wouldn't say something like that.
But you just did.
Oh, I did
No,
that
he
go
said
out?
he said he was going to say it. He didn't say it. He said he was going to say it.
Walmart opens up at 6 a.m. for you guys for Black Friday.
I said 5.
And then I was just looking around. There's been a 3.2% decline in consumers in store on Black Friday.
That's
I
not
thought
as
it would've been
nearly
more.
as drastic.
I did
as
too.
Yeah, I would have thought it was way more than that because, Justin, you remember, and this is from the early 80s, so you won't remember. Travis will remember. Like, Travis, what's the first Black Friday rush? Cabbage Patch Dolls?
Yeah, probably. Cabbage
Is
Patch
that the
Kids.
first crazy,
that I remember?
like,
Yeah.
stories of moms fighting each other in the store and things like that?
Yeah.
I barely remember like my brother really wanting to get a certain video game, so standing outside a GameStop one time.
Wow.
But I barely remember people standing outside of stores. And then this last one isn't even like a correction. This was just a fun thing I saw on Twitter. Do you guys know who the last Iowa men's basketball coach was to start 6-0?
Tom and Davis.
Correct. 86-87.
Wow.
That was an Elite 8 year too, wasn't it? Was that an Elite 8 year? That was the year they blew the lead to UNLV.
Let me check. Let me fact check you.
I think that's when they had like a 20-point lead on UNLV and pissed it away in the second half. But who remembers that?
That's kind of a shocking stat just because of the way that non-con works in college basketball. You would have thought in one of those years they'd have stacked up 6 patsies to come in and take a loss, but I guess, some of those Fran teams lost to teams that they shouldn't have lost to early in the season.
Campbell? Wasn't that one the team?
The Campbell Camels.
I remember that one.
Why don't I like that mascot? Normally I like the weird ones, but the camels?
Is it because of it being the Camels?
Maybe.
Like that's kind of hard to say.
Alliteration that goes along with it. Yeah, it is hard to say.
That maybe that's it. There's something normally I like the odd mascots. I think that they're really fun. I like banana slugs and gauchos and stuff like that.
The anteaters of California Irvine.
But for some reason, the Campbell Camels, turn my nose. But you know why? Because the Hawks lost to them. That's why. That's why. If the Hawkeyes would have never lost to them, I would be like, oh, the Camels. That's really clever.
You said that Tom Davis was, 86, 87?
Yeah. Yep.
So in 1987, according to David, they lost to UNLV. And I forget how big of a lead they had in the first half, but it was a big lead.
Dude,
was
that
really
UNLV team with Stacey Ogman and Larry Johnson.
Grandmama.
Yeah. Good call. Do you know that, Justin? Do you know?
I thought Larry Johnson was in the early 90s. I thought he was.
No, he was part. I thought he was part of that.
I thought he was part of that UNLV team. Am I
because
wrong about
Leitner
that?
and Duke lost.
Right. Okay, you might be right.
In
there were still
like
pretty good
89, 90. So
Okay.
I guess he could have been on that team still, but I thought Larry
Would this have
Johnson.
been the 86, 87 UNLV or 87, 88?
86, 87
All right,
UNLV
let's
team.
see that. Yeah, but we were wrong. Roster is not.
Because Duke lost to them in the championship, got like destroyed by Larry Johnson and all those guys.
Okay.
And then came back the following year, won the beat them in the Final Four. Then I think beat Kansas in the championship, and then went on to beat the Michigan Fab Five in the championship the following year to go
You're a
back to back.
geek. You're a
Dude,
geek.
one of
Love
the
it.
few
I love it.
superpowers I have outside of 6 degrees of bacon is being able to name the NCAA like Final Four and championships.
Good stuff.
Armin
Good
Gilliam
stuff.
was on that 1986-87 UNLV team. But more importantly, they had Jerry Tarkanian cheating to get all the guys. So
He didn't
Chewing
he just
on his towel.
He played by today's rules in 1986.
yeah, but what I said ain't wrong.
No, it's not. It's not wrong at all. Not wrong at all. All right, Justin, we're going to give you tomorrow and Friday. Well, we'd like you to join us Friday because we'll have
I can join tomorrow.
Yeah,
it was
tomorrow,
just Friday. I can't.
We're going to have Todd Stepsis and his wife at 7:30, and we'll try to have most of that time. We got Bruno at 7. We got McKenna Velichko at 6:30. So, you can sleep in on Thanksgiving.
Just don't fuck up then.
It's so weird hearing him say the F word. It's really weird.
Honestly, my gut, it didn't feel right having a microphone and saying that. It didn't feel right.
You get used to it after a while. But you can take notes and correct us if we said anything wrong tomorrow. Okay?
Sounds good.
All right, buddy. We'll
Take
see
care,
you
buddy.
later.
Thanks so much, Justin. Appreciate it.
We didn't have a lot, but he still found some stuff that we weren't very good on. So, all right, folks, we're going to get out of here. We are doing a Thanksgiving show, so we'll be here at 6 a.m. tomorrow. We hope you join us as you're basting your turkey, doing whatever you need to do. It is the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive. Bye-bye, everybody.
I'm loving these wooden nickels, Brian.
Yeah, I suppose everyone is catching on.
Just spend $20 to get a wooden nickel.
It's 25.
Collect 10 and add up the savings on your next purchase.
Some of these are worth $5. That could be huge.
I know, right? That's why you have to spend $20.
It's 25.
Collect 10. It's like money back to you.
Spend 20, you get another wooden nickel.
It's 25.
Collect 10 and add up the savings. It's huge.
Central City Liquors, home of the 10% cash coupon.
And the wooden nickel program.
It's huge.
November's here, and that means Thanksgiving's right around the corner. And here at Willis, we are thankful for you, our guests, for entrusting us with your vehicle and service needs. The holiday season means travel, and that means extra miles on your car that can cause wear and tear. Save that for your pants after all that turkey. And while we can't fix your slacks, we can make sure your car's in tip-top shape. So come on down to Willis for 10% off an oil change. Give us a call or schedule online at LandRoverDesMoines.com.
Tis the season to share great taste. Grab a refreshing Coca-Cola and make every moment a celebration. Locally made, nationally loved, Coca-Cola is the real deal when it comes to holiday cheer. Whether you're kicking back after the game or hosting the crew, nothing hits like that crisp, fizzy taste. Make this season yours. Grab an ice-cold Coca-Cola today.
After Hawkeye football games this fall, Travis and Ross are right where they belong, with you taking your calls and giving unfiltered feedback. Right after Hawkeye football games, it's the Black and Gold Rush on therushradio.com, the TuneIn app, and on YouTube.
Missing a quality home-cooked meal? You know, the kind Mom used to make? Lucky for you, we found her recipe book. Welcome to the High Life. Welcome to the Champagne of Bars.
Every business has priorities, and Priority One Heating and Cooling is no different. As a service provider, we prioritize quality air conditioners and furnaces that will keep your home at your comfort level year-round. As a small business, we prioritize doing things the right way and treating people fairly. As a truly local business, we prioritize our community. As a veteran-owned business, we prioritize duty and commitment. For big business service with local value, trust your home to the place where you are always Priority One.
Back to the Rush. Strong opinions, weak filters, and just enough sense to stay on the air. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.